You're listening to Polymatic.media, episode 127 for July 2025. Welcome to the Polymaticast. Hey, John, how's it going?
Did you read that, or did you just do that from memory?
I just read that. Why? Did you screw it up in the middle of?
Yeah, apparently you don't read.
Hold on. What did I... Listening to Polymatic. I did that. Episode 127 for July 2025. Welcome to Polymatic. Oh, you said potato cast. I'm so used to knowing what the last part of it is. Yes. Welcome to the potato cast. There you
Welcome
go.
to the part of the show where John fucks with Alan.
Yes. And snaps in the middle of it, too.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to let you fuck around with that. I'll just talk to you. There you go. How's it going, man?
I have been burned by the peppers, so
Yeah, doing a lot
still
of peppers.
recovering from the last.
I never took you as a spicy person.
No, I'm not.
You're not at all. So you've been growing the Reapers, Carolina Reapers, and now you're making sauce from them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do anything with the sauce other than torture your coworkers?
I give them to friends and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you don't do anything with it for yourself. You're not putting
Not really,
some...
no.
Okay.
It does. The sauce smells good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It's got lots of ingredients in it.
I guess
I even made a label for it.
Normally when I make stuff, I'm going to participate in it, and then I'll share. And if I find a good community to share with, I'll send the loaves out and stuff, and I'll share my cold brew with my neighbors. I usually do one more than the other, primarily because she insists on taking care of like the lawns and stuff like that. She just out of her nature, she wants to landscape things around here, and so I won't say no, but I'll hook her up with a ton of cold brew or sourdough or soft pretzels.
I think for me, getting maced by the peppers while I'm cooking them is enough of my participation in the whole thing. And me growing them, and then
it just seems weird that you would go out of your way to grow them. I'm curious what inspired you to do that at all, and then you don't have any kind of like selfish intent for it. Like, oh, I really love hot sauce, right? You're just making it. Makes no sense. Doesn't click in. And
one of my colleagues, his wife works for a school, and they're going to try to extract the capsaicin from them. So they have like it's like 50 grams of the peppers, and they're going to turn them into capsaicin. So, yeah, very curious.
Yeah,
if that works. Apparently, they're the highest, the spiciest pepper in the world. So, yeah,
yeah,
and they've been growing very well.
Yeah,
yeah. Every day I get like 10, 11 new peppers on it.
Wow.
11 new that are ripe. They turn orange, and then I can go pick them. And there's like big ones on there now. So I think the smallest ones are actually the most spicy, because they're like they look the gnarliest. They're like
most concentrated.
I don't know. But I have some of them. I have some of the seeds from it already, so I can repopulate them next year.
What did you put on your label? What did you call it? Call your sauce?
John's Reaper sauce or something like that.
John's Reaper sauce. Yeah. Okay. I was trying to think of a name, and I realized, wait, no, he sent me a picture of a label he created.
Yeah. So it's got Carolina Reapers, chili, jalapenos, habaneros, sweet paprika, garlic, some assortment of spices, honey, mustard seeds, salt, lime juice, and lemon juice. And, of course, some spices, which are curry, 5-spice powder, some other stuff. So it's a unique taste, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, should enter him into a competition or something. I'm sure
Yeah, I
there's
don't
got to
know.
be a hot sauce. They're definitely in the South here in the U.S. There's definitely got to be competitions for the hottest, hot sauce.
I'm not going for the hottest hot sauce, but like anytime, like I did the dishes this morning for the stuff I did last night because I did another batch yesterday,
Yeah.
2 batches, and I did the dishes, and while I was doing the dishes, I started sneezing because just the aura of the peppers was setting
Right.
me off.
Yeah,
It's insane.
when you cook, so if I'm cooking with garlic, or whatever, my kitchen smells like garlic, and it might waft its way up into the second floor for a moment. So
No, this is very spicy, very
my point
spicy, and
was,
just washing the pan,
yeah.
it releases those oils, and you just get
Well,
covered in it.
that's why you have to wear gloves.
Yeah, I wear gloves when I'm handling the stuff. It's just
Oh,
that
okay.
it wafts up the air, and
Yeah.
like really, not much you can do about it. Like when I'm actually making the sauce, I'm like wearing a gas mask and stuff like that. So
Mm.
just so I don't mace myself again.
Yeah. But it's gonna waft into your bedroom, into the room you're recording
No,
in right
that's
now.
that's it's not close. So
Okay.
there's like an extraction thing above it, so it should be fine. It's like the whole house smells like hot sauce, but like it's not that bad.
Hmm.
It's just the smell of the sauce, not the spice of the sauce. But like yesterday evening, I was like, oh, uh, I rubbed my eye, and I was like, oh fuck, and I burned myself again.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's isn't that the most interesting thing is you feel like your eye is itchy, and then you have to go rub it, but no other circumstance would that be a concern.
Yep. Yep. Don't rub
Yeah.
your eyes when you're making hot sauce. That's
Yeah.
about it, I guess.
Or eating or putting it on wings or yeah.
Yep. Well, apparently it tastes very good. So I've heard it from a number of people now that say it's very good hot sauce. So
Hmm. Yeah.
yep. And I've made 2 versions. So I made the not so spicy version and the super spicy version. The super spicy has like I think 30 reapers in it, and the not so spicy version has like 3.
Yeah, I was never into hot sauce. I still have my taste buds. I don't like setting everything on fire, you know what I mean?
It
It's
seems to
just
be that the people who have smoked in the past have more affinity for hot sauce.
well, but there's also it's at least in the US it's from the South thing. Hot sauce and everything. Hot sauce on pancakes, hot sauce and eggs, hot sauce in your soda, hot sauce in your chips, hot sauce in your Cheetos, hot sauce in your mac and cheese, hot sauce, hot sauce in your oatmeal. Like
Hot
what?
sauce in your toothpaste.
Yeah, it's just like what the f, man? What the hell? What? And then
Like
the
if
the guy CEO of Cheetos is like, let's make hot flaming Cheetos, and then everyone has to have a hot flaming something now. Don't get it. The trend doesn't apply to me. I'm not into hot sauce. I don't want to, like this sort of the disappointing thing about Cajun food. Cajun food is cooked really well and it can be really tasty, except that it's basically on fire, and I don't like the on fire part. Can I have the Cajun food without the Cajun part?
I like if it wasn't for the current world situationship, I would have sent you some, but
Mm-hmm.
you could share
Yeah,
with people over there.
I don't know who I.
But me shipping produce or food that your way would probably not be a good idea at the moment.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know how long it will last because it's no preservatives and whatever. So
Yeah, so that's the interesting part of like I know how to ship the sourdough and I know how long roughly it will last, and so because I did that, I shipped it to a bunch of people, and they were sort of my guinea pigs, right, of me testing that out. So I know certain people, if I send them stuff, they're in the window. My friend Jenny, if I send her stuff, She's only like X number of hours away, so in a day or two, it gets there pretty fast. So pretzels, wasn't 100% sure. So when I started making them, I made them with, following the recipe, and then I changed out the flour. I tried different flours, I tried different things. And then I took stuff over on 4th of July. Following the recipe, it did not rise as well. The dough did not rise as well as I wanted. So when I got back, I changed out the recipe. And then the second iteration of that recipe I did, a few days ago. And now I've nailed it. They're great to eat, whether you bake them, rebake them, or just as they are, cold. And so I don't know how long they last though for shipping, right? So I don't know how well that would work if I shipped them to somebody. So as much as I'm making all these awesome things and people are like, hey, I'd love to have some of that. I'll ship you some. Send me an address. I don't know how well the soft pretzels travel in the slow mail system here. Because just something that's a 12-hour drive away will take 4 days to ship.
Yep. So how is your pretzels? You're making soft pretzels, I guess.
Amazing. Like I said, I did the second iteration. So normally I was making them with the amount of flour required with one flour type. And then what I did recently, so I did it with bread flour. And they were coming out well, but they were coming out dense. But the problem is, if they become cold, you have to kind of rebake them. So the trick is you should have under the faucet, you rinse your pretzel underneath that. It's the same thing you do for bagels that are frozen, or anything that's frozen really. And then you go ahead and I put them in an aluminum foil pocket, and then I bake them at 425 for 10 minutes. And they come back to life. And then if I want a little bit more crispiness on it, I'll sort of to toast it at a level 3 briefly where the top of it is exposed. And they're really good. And then I changed the flour combination out and the amount of water combination out. So I did a little more water, and the dough proofs better. That's the first key thing. Second thing is I did 2 cups of all-purpose flour and 1.5 cups of bread flour. And that combo has made a much better pretzel for me. And so what I've been doing is I've been making these garlic and salt ones that are really good. So I include garlic powder, garlic salt, another third garlic seasoning that I have that I really like.
What about bacon salt?
Ooh, that's a thought I've never considered. I'll have to get some. I haven't had any in a while.
Does it still exist?
Oh, I'm sure they still exist. Oprah gave her sign on the mayo and the bacon pop or whatever. A long time ago.
Problematic for a whole different bunch of reasons, but I don't know if she's still...
I'm sure they still exist. I'm sure you could Google it and find out. But I probably should get some and try that. Anyhow, so I've been doing that, and they've been coming out amazing. And basically after I run out, I've been taking a bunch of them into work. And so some people get to try them, and then... I bring them back home because I'm not at work in the city every day. But anyhow, my point is that it went back to the tangent of shipping, right? Which is I don't know how long they'll keep. I'm putting them in bread bags, which help them keep better, right? So I don't know how long they keep on their own. There's organic stuff in there.
Could you put them in plastic, not completely vacuum seal, but where you just take some of the air out?
So what I did with the sourdough,
maybe some of those little packets of silicone.
They have the silica ones. No, so when I ship the sourdough, and I don't like to make the big boule round things. They're hard to cut. You're likely to cut yourself. And I guess I like this is the mistake of so much processed bread and growing up with that, is I like it sort of a uniform square. So I can make a sandwich out of it. And it's not an oblong, weird looking freaking sandwich. Like it's as you expect it. It's like a little square. So I make my sourdough in these loaf pans that are basically sandwich loaf pans. I haven't got one of those Pullman ones yet, but to the point is that I make them so they're basically square shaped. So they're easy to wrap up in saran wrap and plastic wrap. So you can get the airtight seal on that alone. And then I put them in.
What about the moisture?
Well, you wait till they cool off, right? And then you wrap them up. And then what I do is I will put them in a freezer bag. Then they'll foil it. So I'm sending them off, right? If I'm sending them off, I'll foil it. So that's not airtight seal, but it's thermal seal. And then depends. I don't do it anymore. We used to put them in a freezer bag. But what I did is I got these foil, kind of like bubble envelopes, but they have like foil on the outside of them. And they're like a one of those foamy, I don't know, like bubble wrap, one of those foam sort of envelopes. And I will put it in that, and then I'll seal that. And then I put it in a box, right? And then I send it off. So that has been really great. I haven't done that with the salt pretzels yet because I haven't shipped them to anybody yet.
I have some. Sometimes I get like this. It's like pork jerky. It's like barbecue pork thing, and they have like these packets in there, but they're not silica. They're iron, like not oxidized iron. So they're like. So if you open it up, it turns red because of the moisture, because it oxidizes the iron. So it that could be an interesting one because they use it for food a lot.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen that, but I also haven't gotten like fresh meat or something delivered to me. Sorry, I was pouring.
Well, you wouldn't put that in there, so it's more for dried stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't normally get jerky either, so. If I was to buy it would be
for your
in the
new
store.
hobby of visiting the gym.
I haven't. So work life pattern has been keeping me from going. Okay, so the reason I didn't go this weekend, so is if I'm going, I'm only going on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday. So the only reason I didn't go this weekend is because Otacon's coming up for me, and so last year. I came back from Otakon and I got COVID. And my joke has been it only took 46,000 people to finally take me down.
Well, you didn't come back and got COVID. You got COVID.
I got COVID while I was there. Yeah. So I had avoided it the whole entire time up until that moment. And I had this thought in my head as like, probably should get a booster. Yeah. And then I got sort of in the rhythm of, I got to pack this, and I never did it. And so I obviously, as a result, I got smart. I got the booster on Friday. And so it totally screwed me up for a day. So I wasn't going anywhere. I'm finally feeling better after a day.
So how many people are at Otakon?
We always cap out. So we were at 46,000.
Okay.
The event location can only do like 43 and some change. And we take over one of the connected hotels. And it has a fair amount of space in it too. So we run events in there as well. It has like 3 or 4 floors below ground. So that's pretty deep. And so we run some events over there too. We run like the rave and a whole bunch of things over there as well. So we get an extended amount of space that we can utilize that's well over the main conventions cap.
You should definitely come to like the Komi or something like that.
Yeah, you had said it was
200 and something thousand people.
That is. So let me ask the question, because this is sometimes how conventions do a trick. Is it turnstile? meaning that they if you get
Everybody buys tickets beforehand. There's no at the thing ticket
no,
sales.
no, I understand that, but sometimes what they do is some places count a 3-day pass as 3 people.
No, that counts as one person.
Okay, got it. So that's fairly large. That's
Yep.
humongous. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. It's been it was very entertaining, and yeah. Did we speak about it after last? Oh, I didn't. We didn't on Dokomi actually. We didn't talk about Dokomi yet.
Okay, that should be a topic point. Um,
Let me
so
let me put that in the thing.
yeah. So anyhow, Otacon's coming up for me, and it's finding the dawn on me. I gotta look at the calendar, but like it's less than 3 weeks away, I guess.
So is it going to be more like documentary stuff for you?
Yeah, that's my project. That's what I'm working on. No one has disrupted me on that. So 1, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then it's in the weekend of four Sundays from now. And then that's the week of, and then I'll be heading down, the end of that, towards the end of that week, the Thursday of that week.
So that's the beginning of August, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Kinda. The way the weekend hits, it's the second weekend of August.
Yep. Well, that's not during a Polymatic recording, so we should be good.
We could always slide that around.
To make it just during.
Yeah, well, we can do it. We could do it on obviously the Saturday before. But I got to go through the effort of, since I organize all my shit, I got to go through the effort of packing and determining what I need. I'm doing less like in interviews, but I need to have equipment there to prepare for when I get to do an interview. I've been doing more features. I've been, I started really doing officially more features last year. So I followed, I came into the Maid Cafe and I filmed some stuff. And then I got one of the code department heads for that to sit down with me. Maybe this year I'll get the other one to sit down with me. So I cut like 8 minutes with her, just a straight interview. And then I was going to supplement it with a bunch of, B-roll. But I didn't get really good B-roll last year. It just kind of did a crappy job of that. So I need to go in there and just let them know. It's, I put a cut together, and then it's like, I got to step away from this for a while. And I was like, I know the B-roll I have is not great. And so I need to go back and listen to that interview. And
last year was like an anniversary for Otakon, right?
Was it? Yes. Yes, it was. It was the 30th.
So you're going to be releasing this documentary on the 50th anniversary?
I've given them cuts of things that they can totally drop. Like I did one where I took 2 past con chairs of note, and I followed them around. We had this big, what we called the Oda Museum. So it was, the room was fairly big, to the point that what we did is we laid down tape. We taped off the blueprints of the first convention. So the size of the first convention fit in this one room. So on the floor, you could look and see, oh, that was Con-Ups, that was Dealer's Roof, that was, I don't know if there was an artist alley, but let's just say there was, right? And so inside that, we put these cabinets together of different memorabilia from each of the years, and then a easel board that provided like the list of names and guests and who the con chair was and stuff like that. So I got Jim and Terry to walk through with me, and I mic'd them up, and I followed them around for about 45 minutes, and then I cut out a 23-minute or something edit, just single camera, very little cuts of this whole thing, and then walking through the whole thing. And I've given it over to the people they could put it up on the YouTube, and they haven't done anything.
They have a YouTube?
Yeah, Otakon has a YouTube. So anyhow, the point is that like I've released a bunch of stuff for them to be able to put them out, and they haven't done so. I haven't made it an objective to yell at them about it. So, it's really, I think what I want is I want more of these featurettes to be out there first and done. And the problem is they take so much time because I need to be in contact with people in person in the event, in that situation, in that environment. And there's only one event a year, right? So I as a single person can only do so much. And so once we have one or two, I'm going to follow Cosplay Rescue around this year. And so I already sort of laid out the request and discussion with Christine last year. So I will follow her. I will interview her, and I'll get some of that. I will get some of that content together, and I'll have a cut for that. And so that will be at least 2 featurettes that can go out at some point, plus that 23-minute walkthrough of the Oda Museum, of its history, plus whatever the other things. I've got an hour's worth of content of putting people in chairs and just talking to them. I have another one about LineCon I got to go do. See if I can get it.
What was
that? So historically, it's a large convention.
You say LionCon?
Lon, Line, like line.
Line.
Like, a line of people.
Okay.
So what would happen is historically, it always would take forever for registration to process, people to get into the event, get their badges, right? Because there's so many people. So I don't know do they mail out the badges like, with Domicon? Like how what was it? Dokomi?
Yeah. You print yours and then they scan you at the entrance.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So,
nobody wants like a badge hanging around their neck.
No, our badges have like hologram protectants and all kinds of stuff in there, just to make sure that people aren't trying to, dupe them.
Yeah, but there's like so much security around that area. But we'll get back to it. LineCon.
Yeah, so LineCon means that like the line is so long that people are sort of enjoying and hanging out and chilling, and there's always someone who's like playing music and whatever it is. It's like its own event that is not part of the event, that's outside the event while they're trying to get into the event. And
is it like DashCon?
I don't know what DashCon is. Yeah. So one year I went out there and I filmed it, and I went back into the room where the heads of people were sitting. This is like where they have to like sit, chill, decompress, because they're always like on, like they're running around everywhere, so they have to sit. We make them sit and chill out for a little bit. And so I want to pop in there just to chill out for a little bit as well. And I saw them, and so I showed them, this 6-minute thing. It's like, yeah, the line's really bad. And that was like 20 minutes ago. And he's like, what? And then Brian looks over and he goes, what? And so I immediately got my phone, the gimbal, and I followed them to watch them go over the skywalk and look at the line, and they were talking to each other. And they went over to the other side of the skywalk, and they were looking at the other side of the line. And then I caught them sort of walking down the going down the escalators, down to the mid-level, down the escalators, down to the lobby, and then other leadership people all came into frame. And I was trying to mic people up, and then the mics sort of failed on me because they didn't record. They weren't on. They weren't recording locally. And so that made me improve my process, next year, corresponding year. And so I got this great footage of them looking at the lines and sort of realizing they have a problem they have to address immediately. So this is leadership doing their job in this context. And I caught a lot of this. And then what I did is I sat down because I couldn't get him in a chair. One of this guy, Andy, I mentioned. I did a Zoom session with him. Didn't love the quality of that, but we talked about it. And that's another one that I'm going to make a moment out of, because the next year, the line system, they had figured out how to fix this. And it was no more LineCon. Like, people stream right through. It's really fast. Everyone's in the building, especially when it's like summertime, in Washington, D.C. And so I caught the before, and I have evidence of the after. And this is really kind of an important identifiable thing with the membership that comes to the convention. So there's something to be made out of that. I'd rather get let's talk about this again, Andy, while he's sitting in a chair with the lights and in the room, right, with me. And I tried to accomplish that last year, and I just couldn't get him to stop moving. So, I'm going to keep trying on that. He also held a different kind of critical role. I don't know if he's holding the same role this year. So, I don't know. But anyhow, so that's something I'm going to be doing. So
next month.
Yeah, next month. It's coming up fast, and so.
The Comey was good.
Yeah.
It was big.
Big. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it was a lot more than I expected it to be. So
250,000 people. Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yep. 215, I think. 215,000. 215.
Okay.
15,000.
Almost. Almost a 250,000.
Oh, no, maybe that was 2024. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it was a lot of people.
Yeah, that is a lot of people. And, that's bigger than San Diego Comic-Con. I think they're like 150 or something.
I have no idea. It was a lot of people. It was very busy. There were a lot of halls of people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think everybody was there at the same time, of course. Because that would probably... But the halls were like packed with people. There were so many people there. And I didn't get COVID, so that's good. What else? I spent a lot of money. I think I spent around possibly $800.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That doesn't include hotel, right? Or does that?
No, that doesn't include hotel. No.
Yeah. So
it was even worse. So the Tuesday before it was supposed to happen, I realized that there was not going to be a train running on the Friday that was supposed to go there. I was supposed to go in on Friday, opens up at noon, and then you can go in. But turns out, Friday, there was no trains because the Dutch Railway decided to strike.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that was perfect. And they had some similar amount of strikes afterwards, but, and so I had to shift things around, get another hotel, get the same hotel like the day before, and get an earlier train ticket for the Thursday. So I went on Thursday, spent like what would have been a 3.5 hour train ride, became like a 6.5, 7 hour train ride. Yeah, it was insane. Actually, not just a train ride. So it's like, I think it took me about 7 hours total to get there.
Wow.
Which should have been 3.5 hours.
So you're going from the Netherlands to where?
Germany. In
Germany. Germany. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's like from the west to the west of Germany, basically. A little bit more south, but yeah. Yeah, it was, but yeah, overall it was pretty good. Met up with a bunch of people that I know from like the 2023 when I went, and met up with a bunch of people that I know from the internet, like in the art scene and whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, when I was going primarily as an attendee, I learned that it was worth getting there by Thursday afternoon sometime. Because the early runners would always kind of come. Well, they all came in on Friday, and then people started like, oh, Alan's going to be there. Maybe I should come in Thursday. And so I don't know if I influenced people, but I would come in super early, and because I just want to drive down. It's going to be 3 hours for me to drive, and I just want to drive down, right? And I just want to get on the road, get there, settle in, and be there. And that was my key thing. And then I was also, I didn't really tell anybody. I just people started to follow me with this. But I would always go home on Monday. So I'd stay over to Monday. And because most people would just, head out on Sunday. And so I was there who came in on Thursday, and I left on Monday. And that's how I shaped my time off. And that what would end up happening is that eventually people started doing the same thing, and then Otakon, a bunch of us go home on Monday now, and we have brunch on Monday morning, afternoon, whatever it is, before we all exit and leave to go back home. So that's sort of, it's how I do when I was going as an attendee. So
yeah, so for when I was there helping out, I was there on Thursday and I left on Monday. And actually, I left on Tuesday because Monday I just wanted to have like a day to just go around Dusseldorf.
Yeah.
But turns out it was like raining all day, so it was like nope.
Yeah.
But this time I went back on Sunday, and I should have gone back on Monday instead. But yeah, it was a very expensive trip because suddenly I had to pay for an extra night in a hotel, which was already like what is it, 100 and something a night, so it was pretty expensive. No, I think
100 a night, even in euros. That's like, I don't know what it is exactly.
I think the hotel was like 250 a night.
For
the Friday to Saturday, Saturday to Sunday.
Yeah. So normally,
but then the extra night was like 100 something, which was weird. I understand why, because it's like an event weekend, so they were all seeing euro signs in their eyes. It was pretty busy in the hotel, but not as busy as I thought it was going to be. But
I mean, with 200,000 people, roughly, I would assume you take over multiple hotels.
So last year they had the World Cup soccer.
Okay, got it.
So
this is one of those
city
event centers that can handle a large volume of people.
Oh no, the city was full of people for that World Cup.
Right. Yeah, it's a tourism thing.
Well, they had like in the same weekend they had like a couple of matches in the stadium there. They also have a stadium a little further out. So, and they so the city was already filled up with people for that, and then there was also Dokomi at the same time. So next year, I heard that they have it in the same weekend as Japan weekend or something like that, which is it would match up. So they have like a whole event around that's not related to the Dokomi, but it's somewhat related.
Right. Yeah. So Otakon.
It's usually the weekend before.
So when Otakon was in Baltimore, we were in the Inner Harbor. And so Otakon had been there for so long, they took over the event center there, the convention center, and which was reasonably big. It was sort of not the largest. We moved to the largest one that was sort of in our area, northern and east coast. And so we were there so long. We had such a positive economic impact on the area that they greenlit building two new hotels around the area, 2 or 3 new hotels around the area, just to handle our one event in that one week/weekend. Mm-hmm. And so that enabled that area to handle larger events on the regular. And one of them was also connected, so we overflowed into one of the connected hotels that had some big event space there too. And so they literally built hotels for our event because we had such a great positive income economic impact on that area. And then we left because the convention center we outgrew the convention center and they weren't making adjustments. There were a lot of broken things they needed to fix that they just didn't fix. And so we left. And then we went to the largest thing we could get to that was in the area. And so we've capped that out too. And I think the only reason we haven't, and we've done that for a number of years, the only reason we haven't capped it out, we do. We always cap it out. There's only so much capacity, and I'm sure that if we had a larger event to grow into, that we cap it out, but we certainly would be much higher than 46,000.
You go to the Otakon West, and then go to San Diego.
So we tried to do a Vegas thing. Vegas is expensive to run an event in. Well, they have all of the accommodations.
Plenty of space.
What happened is it just didn't click. It didn't click for a number of reasons. It was super expensive for us, and it's easy to get sort of taken away by the experience of all the things you can do in Vegas. And so it just sort of, I didn't go. Originally they're like, hey, Alan, come help. And then it was just like a pocket group of people who are just like, no, only the people we want to help will show up in Vegas. And I was like, okay, whatever. And it didn't run smooth. And so we did that for a number of years, and it was okay. It didn't, us moving out of our area, I think we went too big. Vegas is like a good point between, in sort of where you have all of the capacity to be able to handle our kind of size. But, it just didn't work for us. We're just really an East Coast thing. And, so we do other little small events, but they're like before the con. They're not in competition with the con. We do have one that is sort of integrated with DC, where we have a bunch of cultural events and stuff, and right across the way from the convention center in the particular park. So we did that. We're going to do that again. So really interesting how all the dynamics of this stuff works. Anyhow, we talked about a lot of that for a while. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
Dokomi, right? So it was a 3-day event. There was lots of so they have like a whole hall full of for the spicier stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of my friends are there, so that was kind of funny to just go there.
Right.
And but yeah, I also went to a bunch of the other halls. I didn't spend that much time in there was a whole dancing section and whatever, and I was like, okay. That's
usually there's a rave or
there.
something. Yeah, I'm not into.
There was lots of cosplay stuff. There were a lot of people cosplaying. There were so many people cosplaying. There were so many furries. There were so many different different kinds of things. Yeah, I did not take a lot of pictures. It was super dumb, but yeah, I was there by myself, so it was also kind of why I wasn't taking pictures. So
you either document the experience or you experience the experience.
Yeah,
you can't really do both. So if you want to do it well, the occasional with friends or something like selfies with friends is one thing. But if you want to document, how was Otakon? Here's a bunch of pictures and videos, right? You either do one or the other. You cannot do both.
It was kind of funny though, because in 2023 when I was there, the whole 18 plus area was super small.
Mm-hmm.
It was the back part of Hall 4. They cut off part of Hall 4, and that was the 18 plus area. And now this year they had an entire hall, basically the same size as Hall 4, just full of all sorts of artwork, and there were lots of there were some VTubers there. There was some cosplayers. Let's just say that. There were some other materials there. Let's not go into that one. But yeah, also I went to see a friend who does some gamer related stuff. So they make peripherals. They had a stand there. It was kind of fun to meet up with them. So, yep, it was a good experience. Had good food beforehand and after, during. So, and anything else? No. Oh, I had a Korean barbecue for the first time. That was good.
Oh yeah, I've had it a couple different ways. There used to be a place in North Philly that a bunch of us would go to, but I haven't been in there in a long time.
So the fun part was as like I arrived like an hour beforehand.
Yeah.
We were like organizing to go there. And I was like, okay, I'm meeting up with some people, and they were like, oh yeah, so can we do like at 6:30 or something? So they arranged everything. And I was like, oh, I hope I get there in time because I'd left at like, I don't know, 10 in the morning, and I arrived at like 6 at the hotel. So I was like exhausted, and then I still had to go to the Korean barbecue. But I was very happy I went. It's just more of like the whole smelling like barbecue afterwards because I just arrived there and everything smelled like barbecue. Luckily, I brought some extra pants, but like everything smelled like barbecue. It was like they have like a little thing in the table.
Yeah, yeah.
They
You have
just
a
turn it on.
little stove in the table, and you're supposed to sort of. At least my experience has been you should have a la carte buffet. Pull some meats. Though you pay for what you use, at least in that
So they had an
circumstance.
interesting way of doing it. They had like an not an app, but they had like a website,
Yeah,
and every table had a QR code, and you just fill in I want this, I want this, I want this, and then you
yeah,
order, and they come and bring it.
yeah.
You slap it on the thing, and then they come bring you more if you ask for more, and then
Right.
you pay afterwards.
Yeah, and you just sort of cook, right?
Yep.
And then you sort of make your own meal, and that's totally good too. It's sort of it's meant to be a table experience. Yeah, I know I've done it a couple times. The one place had this really interesting rice tea that was really good. So I remember enjoying that quite a bit. But the problem is you go with a certain group and there's always some people who's going to bully the way they want their stuff. They want the spicy stuff or they want this or they want that. And it's just, you know,
Yeah.
it's a group effort. And so if you're not with the right group, it can be a bad experience.
Yeah. These were good people. So,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, I just all I want is no beef. Let me just, which is a problem. Then I was like, okay, as long as I can like put some of the pork and chicken and whatever on the left, and then I can, separate it out from the beef. That will be fine. I will not have a panic attack. So let me just do that, and that was good. So we there was no problems, but that was good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hear that OG hit 20 years.
Yeah, we hit our 20 years by dates. We hit the number of weeks a while ago, I think in the May. So, yeah, we hit 20 years. And then I moved everything officially to Patreon. So I took down the website. I pushed all the redirections over. We're not using OG Link, though Paul is sort of kind of a little mad about it. He's so conditioned to it. So I don't know. You and I need to have a convo about it, whether we bring you back or not. I just tell people it's show notes. It's weird because reading out the OG links towards the end is my way of saying, okay, guys, I'm going to give you the links. Shut up, guys. Stop talking. Let me give you the links. Stop talking about this for 18 minutes. It was a 4 minutes short. Stop talking about how terrible it is. Shut up. Here, let me give you the links. And that pattern is sort of gone. And so that was always everyone knows, okay, I got to shut up now. I was giving the links. Of course, that never worked because then Matt would go on for another tirade.
So now you have like a
20 minutes.
6-hour show?
No. They're coming out okay, but they were just change of routine, total pattern, right? The total kicker. So everything's on Patreon. Everything has been redirected. I downloaded all the shows. So I have everything. I don't know where I'm going to put them. As much as I want to stick them up in the Patreon, the problem is they all become like dated new shows if I upload to them. So I got to figure out where to go. Someone said I'll put them on the Internet Archive, but then I lose my copyrights if I do that. So I don't know. Yeah, you have to. It has to be open public copyright attribution or something like that. I was looking at it for half a second. So some part of me is like, maybe I don't want to do that. So I don't know where that's going to go, but I have backups and copies of everything, the full amount of release shows. So yeah, So we're just Patreon only, and
there's probably some episodes you want to not upload to the internet again.
um, yeah, I don't know. The only kind of larger risk of concern for me is as I my employers, right? I can't do anything, can't work for specific people if they're going to go back, dig through the history of the internet and go, hey, Alan was on a show where someone said something nasty. Yeah, well, I have a disclaimer.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But that doesn't matter. Right. And so it never became a concern.
Just say it is AI. Everything is
it never,
AI's fault now.
So much that it always was a concern in the back of my head. That's why I was very careful about what I said and how I said it. But that being said, I don't want it to be a concern, right? I still need to be employed. So there's that. And so at least now, if someone, a coworker or someone wants to be sneaky, they have to, if they sign up and they pay $1 a month, at least I know the name. I know that they're doing it. So, so we don't have the same size of audience. We have like maybe 24 people. But going from thousands of people a week to 24 people, so, and look, I'm now making money, like a whopping, like only if, not a lot, right? But I'm in the positive instead of on the super negative. I can tell you that because everyone heard this, they were hitting the website a lot, and I looked at the final bill on the hosting, and it was $400, man.
Holy crap, man.
Yeah, people were hitting the database and searching everything, and every bot, I think, was going through the whole search engine mechanism, everything. People were super leeching. And that leeching from the file, that's not part of the 400. That goes off to the podcast hoster. So, people were going out of their way to like completely rinse the website.
We've been blocking OpenAI and other AI bots, and recently Cloudflare is blocking AI.
Oh
tools now.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, they're starting to put that in.
Unless you explicitly say yes, I want this.
Right.
But the AI bots are misbehaving so much.
So
they're like causing hundreds of thousands of requests.
Yeah, so someone targeted obviously the website in the last month, and the price tripled. Well, not tripled, but like more than doubled, almost on its way to being tripled.
I only downloaded the. That was also from Libsyn. So I downloaded the
entire.
The
but that's on Libsyn's back. That's not on the website. So like
the RSS feed is like 25 megabytes, by the way.
Yeah.
It was a big chunky file.
Yeah. So, So anyhow, point being, that but going forward, I don't have to worry about several $100s per month for my total expenses on this. So I'm gonna have the DNS expenses for a moment. I don't know. We'll see if I want to get rid of some of them or not. The problem is that sort of ownership. And if I take those away, someone's going to squat it, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know. It's sort of this, you get locked in until you want to just let it go. I'm not scorching earth. That's the thing, right? So anyhow, we hit 20 years. And one of the other changes we're making is we're going to do it every 2 weeks. So this Sunday, today, I don't have to record OG.
Oh. We should try to sync them up so you don't have to record on this. So you have like a day.
Completely.
Like you should have 2 days at least a month, completely free of any recording.
Sundays. It's sort of every other, right? So I guess it depends on where.
It's once a month for Polymatic and.
Right, I understand, but then there is one weekend where I have nothing, right? So out of the.
2 weekends.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see how that works out. we just should have started the pattern, right? So I had to remind myself, like, oh, I don't have to record tonight. So, and we're also making, I know you hate this, but we're making the seasonal reviews less shows by packing more in per show.
Let's just say I'm not a patron.
Yeah, I understand. But anyhow, so so that's a big change for me, and hopefully in a couple of months, after I just deal with that big old bill, just paid that bill. Oof, that hurt. I some of that money will come back, and or I will keep some of my money. So
Yeah.
there will be a few months of this year where I actually get to not spend as much. So.
Yeah. Speaking of a lot of money, Dropbox. I'm fighting with Dropbox at the moment. I got so I upgraded to Windows 11 recently, and it kind of messed. So I upgraded, and then so it went fine after the upgrade, but I have like the entire Dropbox synchronized to my hard drive.
To your Synology?
I have it to my Synology, but I also have it to my PCs.
Mm-hmm.
So I have two PCs with the full copy, just in case. Because, one backup is none backup. So I have that. But so my one Windows 11 PC started saying, "Oh yeah, but now we're doing. We're moving everything. It's safe. There's nothing to worry about. All your files are safe."
The web only.
What?
The web only feature.
No, the online only.
Online only. That's what I mean. The web only.
Yeah. So it uses something called the something drive space or something like that. So I think it's the Windows 11 integration. And when you set things up, you get the question: do you want to opt out of the whole drive only thing? So so you don't get nuked.
Got it. So I haven't rebuilt one of my Windows 11 PCs. So when they had that feature, I could enable specific folders, but I was already sort of actually doing the file
You mean selective
sync,
but that's not the problem. So they have this thing called default sync state for new files.
Okay. So
and they have
feature
online only and available offline. Guess what? If you click on available offline, that's fine. It selects it. You close the settings, you open it back up again. It's back to online only.
Weird.
And then the problem was, while I was syncing, it was doing the thing where I couldn't even click on available offline. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just during syncing. So I retried it, tried it on the other machine, who now also had the same problem. And over there, I could select available offline. But when I switched back to the other machine, it said, it was just turned off again. So I couldn't. It was such a mess.
So
anyway, and then afterwards, it was done syncing, and oh no, you're now signed out.
Okay, that's
so
really super weird.
I had to sign back in. It had to resync 300 gigabytes of data back to my disk. I couldn't select the existing directory. No, it had to re-download everything.
Yeah, it's sort of indexing process, especially when you build a new PC, is the worst. Their UI app that's, at least in Windows, is the worst. It is the dumbest little app, and finding where they nest features and stuff is the worst. I've turned certain folders on to be web only because I just don't need all that content sitting on my system, and I don't need to find a situation where I have to add more, drive, disk drive.
I use it for synchronizing photos to my machine.
Right.
Then every once in a while, I just move everything out onto another drive. So it gets automatically synced to my NAS.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to open up any, remote access to anything.
Right.
which of course I do because of Dropbox. It's doing that anyway. But still, anyway, it sucked so much. And then the other machine did the same thing because, I was signed out of that one as well right now. I had to download another 300 gigabytes.
I will say, though, my experience with Google Drive and OneDrive hasn't been much better. They're irritating in total different ways.
Yeah, so I have a plan for something. I'll talk to you about it offline.
Okay, so you're going to create something. Wasn't there something not Dropbox, but there was something else?
We'll talk about it offline.
Okay, but there was a third party something that was just as not great as Dropbox.
Yeah.
So it's working for me, and it's been working for me because I haven't built a new PC or anything, so I don't have to go through that pain point. I've done that before. It's painful.
But let's just say at some point in the near future, Dropbox will lose their, what is it? When did I start paying for Dropbox? Like 2014, 13? Possibly even before then.
Yeah, I pay for some extended version, but no, I don't think the business version. I'm just looking right now.
I've been paying for Dropbox for a very long time.
Yeah, me too. Because I use it.
Yeah. And they keep trying to upsell me, but there's at the point where I'm going to start, get annoyed. Because they've already started to oh yeah, we're going to be using AI to make it better. Oh no, I don't want you to touch any of my files. So I don't know what the status of that shit is, but that's going to be a problem. Yep. Because there's stuff in there, right? They can't train on that data, and if they do, I'm going to fucking sue them. Because that's not allowed.
Hoping you can opt out for that.
Well, that should be opt in.
Well, yes, I agree with you, but everyone
there will be a
takes
privacy complaint lodged against them in the European Union. They'll be in a lot of trouble. Which is kind of funny because the EU has been on a bit of a spree of slapping American companies at the moment.
For AI stuff, yeah.
Not just AI stuff, but Google and Microsoft and Apple.
And I'm happy that they're doing it because at least there is some governance that is, I don't know if it's following law, but at the very least it's looking out.
Wait, you don't like the corpo states of America?
Yeah.
It's like Cyberpunk 2025, basically. Dystopian brain chips and whatever.
Yeah.
It arrived a little bit early. Yeah. So speaking of Cyberpunk and corporate devices, what about the Pixel 9?
Oh, yeah. So my Pixel 6 has been for a little bit being difficult with charging. And I had this phone for a while. It wasn't like I desired having a new phone. I wasn't on that road. It was like, oh, new hotness is out. I must get it. I've been beyond that, right? And the phone's been fine, except that occasionally it's sort of charging is a problem. So I'm going to Otakon and it's like, I'm going to be away from home. I'm going to away from all my devices except my laptop. And even then, I just sort of, it's unfortunately the way of the world with work and everything. I need that phone. I do. I can't walk away from it and go through my normal workday. I have to use the 2FA to sign in. And, so it's just sort of even if I want to walk away from my phone, everything goes through that, phone key. Okay, not the end of the world. I can use an actual physical thing to get in my car and drive. But, with work and everything communicates through that. And so unfortunately, I have a forced dependency on my physical phone. So, point being is, I was like, all right, well, let's go, because this is the 9 is exiting, fall is coming real soon, and then the 10's going to come out, right? And so the prices on this might be better. No, the prices haven't gone down. They're just as bad as they were before. But it's like, all right, let me look at what's going on here. So I went and I just got the difference between the Pixel 9 Pro and the Pro XL was $100. So at least for me, based on because I use Google Fi as my carrier. And then, using them as a carrier, they gave me another $450 off. Didn't matter what phone, whether I got the Pro 9 or the Pro XL, they're encouraging me to like buy this thing. And then I noticed that I could push this storage up to 1 terabyte. So my phone has 1 terabyte of storage on it, which is perfect when I'm using my phone to do some documentary stuff. Oh, and by the way, the megapixels on the camera are 50 now.
I really wish that they would have like what they did with the Steam Deck, where they have like an NVMe slot, which you can slot your phone in. Like for a Pro phone, I would expect to be able to expand the storage.
Right. They used to have the micro SD slots on these things.
But like I want something with a NVMe drive.
Right. I understand what you're saying. So either
Especially
way,
like with the iPhone, like the cameras on these things, they're so good. Like I have the Pixel 8 Pro. I think I don't have the XL. I think. Anyway, so it is the thing I have with the Pixel phones is that when you take a picture and you zoom in on it, it looks very like it got like gone through some filter of like some sort of whatchamacallit, like abstract, they're trying to interpret. Like at first the photos look really good, but then when you zoom in, they botch the photos. They did something to the photos.
So I know that Samsung does that. Even iPhone fucks around with the
but
the colors.
The thing with the pixels is like when I look at the stuff taken on the Pixel phone, it all has that garbage, and I never have any of that stuff on my iPhone.
So in the camera app, I can switch it to 12 megapixel, which is faster, and I switched it to 50 megapixel, and you have to really hold for half a second.
I have
when
the
you
raw
take that picture.
Option turned on, and even the raw option has this shit.
I have that option, and I didn't do anything. I just leave it in JPEG for now. Because most of the pictures I'm taking is like of food, of things I bake to share, right? Or something random as I'm going to work, right? And then I put an inspirational post and I blur out the background. And
but you said from resolution 50 megapixels?
On the XL, you can push it up to 50 megapixel, and then...
but is it actually 50 megapixel, or is it just, upscale?
It could be AI interpreted. I don't know.
Maybe that's the reason why it's doing that stuff.
And I noticed when I was taking those pictures, it wasn't super fast. I have to literally pause, hold for half a second for it to gather. They also have different optics. Before it was only like double times. Now I have 5 times. So when I do telephoto, it's 5 times.
I don't like the Geordie LaForge thing on the back.
It's better than it was before.
I like the iPhone thing better.
Yeah. Okay. But anyhow, so the pictures seem pretty good. I haven't really put it to the test. It has actually in-body stabilization into it. So that plus with the gimbal, it's going to be really super smooth, I hope. I was concerned. I didn't think about it. I didn't measure it out. I was concerned the 6.8 inch diagonal resolution was going to be too big, but it does fit into the gimbal, so which is good. Apparently, it's only slightly bigger, not significant. So, yeah, and it's interesting because I actually have 4K resolution on this thing. So everything that I'm used to before, I literally had to push the screen resolution, like font display size, down to the lowest because everything was too big for me. So everything, I just have extra room, and it's just weird
Looks
to
like a
see
toddler phone.
having extra room
Yeah.
on everything. So it's nice, and it's interesting. And I guess it's newer, right? So there's enough generation of difference that some apps respond differently. Like TikTok responds differently for me here. So yeah, and I have enough room to not worry about in the crisis of having to offload everything off my phone all the time while I'm filming on it in the gimbal. So hopefully the quality of video is better. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I thought I got it, and if I could have continued with the power, not having the power issue, I would have stayed on the Pixel 6 for longer, just from a financial thing. So I saved some money by not having to worry about OG, costs, but now some of that money is
Spending it on a
going,
phone. Yeah.
yeah,
Great.
on the phone.
At least it's
So
not you bought it outright, right?
I did not buy it outright this time.
Oh, okay.
And so I did the financing on it, which is like not much. And I know me, I'm going to have a bunch of money just sort of spare, and I'm going to put a big chunk right down on the phone. So I don't have to worry about the 3 years. I'll pay this thing off well before. And I've always been on Google Fi, and I prefer it over carriers in the U.S. So it's not like I have any intent of moving on in 3 years.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of carriers, I've been spreading the Meshtastic all over the place.
So you should call your Meshtastic network ReaperNet.
No, it's called PotatoNet.
I know, but you should call it ReaperNet. Rename it because
the mashed
Reapers.
Potatoes.
Okay. I'm telling you should create up a little Caroline Reaper, John Reaper logo, and then call it ReaperNet.
No.
I'm just saying.
I like the potatoes more because it's funny. Because it's also they're running on a potato. Like
the broadcast the potato cast across it.
Wise. What?
Yeah, the broadcast the potato cast across it.
I should. Well, all of them have like the note names have like a little potato emoji in it, so it's kind of funny. And every one has like a link as the name. So if you go to the website, you see the picture of the node. That's kind of funny. It's kind of nice. So yeah, that's about it, I guess. Do you want to go over the links?
Sure. I
have quite a lot of them.
I know you have quite a lot of them. I just put in music ones. I'm sure that there's definitely a bunch of TikToks and stuff that like I have, but I didn't go through it. I just said, a bunch of new music, which is actually like new for me. And, I thought I would share that. So why don't you go through your links? Yours are also a bunch of music as well.
Yeah, there's mostly at the end. It's more music, but yeah. Aukai Richard Houghton, Slow Sun, that's a piece of music. Polymatic.link/1IQ. And then the Misfits, that's Carrie Byron and Tori Byron and Carrie something. From the
Balechi or something like that.
Tori Balechi, yeah.
Yeah. Ironically, I had already seen this video and I watched it in full a while ago.
Polymatic.link/1IR for that one.
Yeah.
Arduino Pro Micro Macro Keyboard version 2.0. Polymatic.link/1IS. Might be a good, interesting project to play with, Alan, at some point.
Maybe.
To start your whole electronics
journey. Yeah, you've been waiting for me to start 3D printing and electronics journey for a long while. I'm still in my baking mode right now.
Mm-hmm. Until you find out you can make things for the baking with 3D printing and stuff.
Make my own oven.
Yeah, sure. Then I killed my plant, Pepina, Polymatic.link/1IT. I like that song. It's like a eulogy for a plant.
Yeah.
And then Evan and Caitlin Exposed, Polymatic.link/1IU.
So I followed Gerald already, and I watched this is last week, basically this previous week. I finally got around to watching it. Yeah, I even watched the Adam Savage one. They showed up on Adam Savage. I was with friends on 4th of July, and Vic's wife said she was talking about something, and then I heard, because I was there, but I don't remember what the conversation was, and I was like, oh, here, I have a picture. Only Alan will know who these people are. And so she went to some kind of, like creative convention. I can't remember exactly what it was, but like a craft convention or something. And there's a picture of her with Evan and Caitlin. And you don't realize how tall Evan is. Caitlin is like my height. She's 5'6", and Evan is just towers above her. He's well into 6 feet. Like, whew. So, but yeah, I watched this video.
Apparently.
He's
6'5". Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty tall in the pictures.
I think I'm like 6 something. 180.
Yeah, I'm 5'6".
I am 6'03".
Yeah. So that was what Polymatic.link /1IU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there is 160 RISC-V core supercluster on a single M.2, Polymatic.link /1IV. And then Peak, Kiddo and Dad versus the Peak. Will Smith, not that one.
A different Will Smith, yeah.
Yeah, from Tested. Used to be from Tested. Polymatic.link /1IW. Also recommend his podcast called Brad and Will Made a Tech Pod. I'm actually a patron.
Oh, I haven't listened to it, so
yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like it because they're like pretty goofy people, and they're like into tech. So they sometimes like make lots of they make pronouncements about things, and I'm like, oh, I have to correct this. But no, I never do because they'll get a lot of that from people already. So I was like,
right,
okay.
you don't need to you don't need to be the one who is
actually.
Yeah,
no, I don't.
They'll get that from enough people. I found myself like I need a comment. It's like wait, let's check the comments. Oh, people took care of it already. All right, don't spend the time on it.
I don't want to be that person.
Yeah,
but they are very interesting. They have an interesting podcast. It's fun every Sunday, basically. I don't understand how people do every week podcast. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, you don't do it anymore.
Just because after 20 years, look, I've been doing it for 20 years. That is, except for the few that like did it 3 to 5 days a week. That's more than most podcasters, to be honest. More than most podcasters. Yeah. Something to be said. And 20 years is fine, right? Like, who am I proving? Who am I proving that to? Nobody. No one I care about. Like, I'm not competing with anybody.
You're making it longer than it should be.
Yeah. So,
anyway.
There was somebody who said, OtakuGeneration.net, the reason for the season.
Reason for the seasonal review.
My season was every year. So 20 seasons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, next up, Wary Bee to Athena. When I listened to this, I saw it on YouTube, and I clicked on it, and I was like, huh, this sounds like Dutch.
Yeah, I know. You shared this artist with me multiple times.
I was like, what the hell is this? So yeah, that was kind of funny. But it turns out it's Swiss German. So I don't know. Polymatic.link /1IX for that one. Then Storm Henshaw, Feel Again, Polymatic.link /1IY. And then Rabbitology Stranger, Polymatic.link /1IZ. And then it's up to you.
Yeah. So I sort of discovered or heard a couple artists and then sort of bookmarked them, and I kind of really like their content. This one, I really enjoy her content. And her new, I think, release is called Truish. Austin or Austin, I don't know. It's like Boston except no B. Austin. I'll call her Austin. So polymatic.link /1J0. I just pointed you to her more current one. I listened to a bunch. Sorry. I listened to a bunch of her shows, bunch of her music, and I really like a lot of it. And then Violet Skies, Half My Life. That's the one I bookmarked. There's a bunch of other songs that she has that I really like. Very interesting. This might be one that you like, John. Polymatic.link /1J1. And then Love, I don't know. I saw him do sort of like a making of behind the scenes on TikTok, and then I really like that song. And then I followed him sort of recently as an artist, and he's got some new stuff going on, and I really like that song. I Like Me Better. Polymatic.link /1J2. It's a very romantic song. It's like I like me better with you. Is sort of to complete the phrase of the lyric. And then Caitlin Tarver, I've been following for a while. I just thought the song's pretty good, but I just thought how the video starts out where she sits down next to somebody and random that she doesn't know, and he's just like uncomfortably says, "How you doing?" And then she goes off into her song, and it's a whole thing. Caitlin Tarver #1, polymatic.link /1J3. And then Eliana, again, new to me. This is a song that I like, but there's a couple other songs that she has, so I'm now following her. Polymatic.link /1J4. This song is called BMW X5.
So why is it a car name, car brand, and model number?
I was sort of I wasn't listening closely to the lyrics yet, so I can't answer that question. Because I know her from another song, and then I heard this one recently, and so I was like, oh, that's a pretty good song. My problem is I have a tendency to listen to the mechanics of the music and the mechanics of the lyric flow, like the technicals of the lyric flow. I rarely ever listen too closely to the actual lyrics. And I heard recently that most guys do the same thing, right? They look at things, they're attracted to the blobs, they're not attracted to the focus areas. And so, yeah, I kind of do that where I'm not always listening or picking apart the lyrics to understand exactly what's being said. I'll take an interest after the fact. I listen to the songs like, oh, I kind of like that. I like the vibe, right? And so that's what catches my attention. It's not always the why is she talking about a BMW, So yep. I'll go answer that question. I'll go listen to it, and I'll let you know.
Okay, Alan, where can they find you?
Polymatic.link /Alan.
Hey, he said it for once. I'm going to cut this up and reuse it. You can find me at polymatic.link /John. For feedback, you can reach us at podcast@polymatic.media. Our website is polymatic.media, where you can find all our links too. And I hope you tune in next time.